Before we begin, I would like to apologize in the huge delay in upload schedule. Jenna gave me the responsibility to edit the episodes, and I have been just very lazy about it. So we scrapped the previous recording that we did right after the last episode, and now we just recorded very recently. These are the most recent episodes that we recorded. And if you're still with us, thank you. We really appreciate it. And enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome back to the InaneBrains podcast. I'm your host, the narrator for SpongeBob. Kidding, it's Lance. With my co-host, Jenna. Say what's good, Jenna.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Because I just watched Star Wars and the freaking Obi-Wan show. So good. But before we talk about that, make sure to follow us on Instagram at InaneBrains, InaneBrains on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What should they comment if they do so? Jenna?
Worm on a string. Comment worm on a string.
Comment worm on a string if you are watching this on YouTube.
Comment that if you are single and ready to mingle.
Yes, because I am lonely.
Oh, man.
I'm kidding. Anyway.
Gotta go out and meet people, man.
I mean, the only sort of, socializing I really do is when I go to work. And then...
I don't think work is the best place.
No, definitely not for hitting on any girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially a gym.
I think it's fired.
Especially a gym.
Yeah.
Especially a gym.
Another good reason for college later in life. There's, a lot of hotties.
Yeah.
There's some baddies out there.
Yeah, she brings it up because I'm not going. She is.
I just want him to go. That's all it is. Because
you and everyone else.
Yeah, it's not even for your own good will or good being or whatever.
Yeah,
I just want more friends in college.
Not for my well-being.
It's for myself. It's a selfish reason.
Yeah, so. She wants to go because she's lonely.
Just a wee bit. Yeah, I made friends the first semester, second semester. Bunch of stiffs, my dude. I didn't want to be friends with anyone in those classes.
Why? Because they suck, or they're just awkward, or
because they're awkward and they just they didn't want to be social. I think it's because it was a hybrid class, so people that wanted to be online but had to be in person type of situation.
They still do those?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that.
COVID's a thing? No.
Yeah, we're still not out of it, but we are. It's this weird medium. That worm on the string, I swear it doesn't look like it's I swear it looks like it's moving on its own, but mechanically. But I also kind of see the string, but I kind of don't.
I have a worm on a string for anyone who's confused right now.
Don't you have multiple?
No, I just have 2. I have 2 orange ones.
Yeah, 2 is still too many.
Well, this one is because I bought it at a magic shop and I was into magic at the time. And then the other one, Adrian just gave it to me. He gifted it to me. Yeah,
Adrian, good friend of ours for the people who don't know. But, yeah. Yeah, you were into magic.
I had a magic phase, all right?
Yeah.
It was a little intense.
And that went well into, the beginning of high school, right?
Yeah, it started off in, the end of middle school and branched off into the beginning of high school. And then I grew out of that. Before that, the Rubik's Cube phase.
Yeah, you had a couple little phases, huh?
Yeah, and then...
I'm not one to talk. I had my goggles phase.
What was I into?
I missed the goggles phase.
Goggles phase.
The problem is, I would still wear them. I still think they were cool. But now, I also wear glasses, too.
Oh, so it is a little...
Yeah, so I don't want to, double up. And then also...
Double up.
The goggles just don't really match with anything. They're very specific. They're a specific kind of color. And... there's a specific type of... I don't know, you need a specific type of... See, I'm now more conscious of what I wear, too.
Yeah, I was kind of flashy with my colors. I remember I wore, the bright orange sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I wore that with your goggles. I took a picture, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And
I don't even remember that. When was that?
I had a picture some time ago. Middle school.
It was middle school?
It was middle school.
Oh my goodness. I don't even remember that. I do want to bring them back, though, one day. I also thought these would lift this way. Don't know why. I know the chair at my job does, so I guess that's just my instinct to do that. But we're just rambling. I really wanted to talk about The new
Marvel and DC.
Yes, at ComicCon, this would be 2 weeks ago now. There have been trailers released for the new. I know the new Black Panther that I'm not excited for. I'm sorry.
Is it the sister?
It's the sister.
Interesting.
No one cares about the sister.
No.
I'm sorry.
It still could be good.
Hopefully, and I should be, be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever because I'm black.
Yeah, did you see like the South Park thing where it's like every time Cartman tries to talk to the Token's family, he's just like, I love Black Panther.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was the greatest movie of all time, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was I'm gonna be honest, Black Panther was just like, it was a cool movie.
It was cool, but it wasn't the best.
No,
you know?
I like everyone's just hyped about it because
Black
culture.
black.
There's a black guy.
There's a black guy on the screen.
Did you ever see the Dante video?
No.
No.
What is that?
I'll show it to you after, but yeah, it's just that's the only reason why people were hyped about the movie, because it's like a nice standalone black superhero movie, which is like cool, and like the CGI was cool. I mean, Chadwick Boseman's acting was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was good
for what he was worked with.
Oh man, yeah.
It's just like obviously you can't do anything about it, but I would have liked to see more Chadwick Boseman because he's only been in 3 films.
Yeah.
1 standalone film. So I was expecting until his passing.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But apparently this is how it goes in the comics too, that his sister takes the mantle.
Oh.
No one, I'm sorry. Even in the movie, no one cares. No one cares about the sister.
Yeah.
It's he was the badass. It's It's because he's a man.
He's a man, all right? He's a man in a cat suit.
I'm misogynistic.
Yes.
All right, it's because she's not going to be a good Black Panther.
I am too, but like this one I'm not too much caring about because it was a man in a cat suit.
Yeah, but he looked cool in it.
I know, but like just put boobs on it and it's kind of the same effect for me.
Yeah, Catwoman.
Yeah, because I like Catwoman. I think that's probably why.
Yeah.
I'm Catwoman biased. Cat is a female thing, all right?
Well, it's not a cat, Jen.
It's a cat.
Well, actually, it was a panther. It was a panther that is a big cat. They eat. It wasn't like a little house tabby cat like Blake.
Well, excuse me, sir, but a pussy is still a pussy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really hyped for that. Oh, the new Shazam.
I did see a snippet of the trailer.
They're making the new Shazam. I still have yet to see the first one, and
you didn't see the first?
No, I haven't. Not even when it came out. I really wanted to.
It was the start of like a decent DC film.
Right. I was actually really excited. I really wanted to see it. I just never got around to it, and now they're making the second one. So I'm like, oh God, now I have to watch it.
Yeah, now you have to. I thought it was a good movie,
and I really like Shazam as a character too. Like he's just a little kid trying to, basically, in essence, just grow up,
It gave me, Big vibes. Have you ever seen the movie Big?
No.
It's basically a kid, like a child, a boy. This was like an 80s movie or like past that maybe. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he goes to like one of those mechanical, like, crystal ball things. Mm-hmm. And he was like...
Mechanical and crystal balls are very... polaring concepts.
I mean, like the fortune teller, mechanical fortune teller things at carnivals. At carnivals, yeah. And then he's like, I wish I was big, like an adult. What he means. And then one day he's like in an adult body. And the mom is like, who are you? What the fuck have you done with my son? He's like, it's me. And then he works at a toy factory. And then they try to like make these toys. And then he's like, I don't get it, lol. He's like, why don't you make something cool, like a prehistoric bug or something?
This is so boring. Like, why can't you just make like a Dumbledosaurus?
And then they were all like, he's a genius. He knows what kids want because he is one.
Yeah, because he is one.
Yeah, and he makes a lot of money that way. And then he invests in things that are like a kid would, like a bouncy house and like an apartment with like just arcade machines and stuff like that, basically.
So anyway, Shazam's just that, but with lightning
Superpowers.
powers.
Yeah.
And he can fly.
Yes. I like the
and
cartoon
that,
too.
and then like the new Black Adam that's coming out. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Isn't the Rock? Wait.
Yes.
No. Is he?
Yes.
Thank goodness. He's also gonna be Crypto in the Super Pet thing, I think.
Yeah, that too. Okay. I can't. No, you can't.
The Rock's everywhere.
No, The Rock cannot play a supervillain. There's no way.
He's too nice.
He's too nice of a person.
He's too nice.
I can't see him doing something nefarious or evil. Like in the comics, Black Adam, I think, kills his brother to get the powers.
I think so, yeah.
Dude, all I can see him is just like, hey,
Also,
you guys want to buy a box of chocolates? You know,
let me open my fanny pack. I probably have a treat in there. Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
you cannot portray that like
evilness.
That like I didn't think even like Chris Evans could do that, but when I saw like Knives Out, have you seen Knives Out?
No, I haven't.
Good movie.
Okay.
So good. It's like the game, what's the name? Clue? It's like Clue.
Oh, okay.
I've
heard of it though.
It's so interesting. They just put like the pieces together.
That's cool.
Making a second one with Daniel Craig. Amazing.
I was into that series of movies with there was like the train one. The train stuck in the snow, and there's a murder on the train, and then the detective the detective was French, and he figures it out. And they had a recent one called Death on the Nile. They were in the Nile, right, Nile River, on a boat. Same thing happens. There's a murder. He tries to figure it out. I like those.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out like, so there's this family, and one of them is, and then the father of the family died.
Okay.
But we don't know how. They think it's a murder, but we don't really know. And everyone's just trying to get the deed to the house and all of his...
so it could be anyone because they have something to gain.
Yeah, and all of his fortune, because he's like a novelist or something like that. Okay. But yo, it's so interesting.
Would you want to ever participate in like one of those event things that they have where it's like a... What is it? Like the...
Is it like a Clue thing? Yeah,
but you know how they have like the festival, like the medieval festival, where people are encouraged to dress up and like play parts and stuff like that. But it's kind of like that, but with a murder mystery. So you walk into a big mansion, have a dinner with like the people that participate. Someone's killed. Try to figure it out.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I didn't think I would say no to the freaking medieval thing because
you don't like medieval stuff.
No, I love medieval stuff like. Dragons, knights. Oh, don't bring up D&D or make me cry. I love D&D.
Okay.
Shout out to Adelaide and Hallie. You two are one of the best people ever. Anyway, but it's just like having to play into that role of like no technology or any of that. Not saying
you don't have to. It's just encouraged that people just dress up.
Annoying at that point, right? Because then they're like too into it. They're like,
oh,
what is that black box? Like, bro, come on. I just need to...
Oh, like that far? Like the Gravity Falls episode where he says, like, oh, my car's stuck. And he says, what is this magic wheel box? And he's like, come on, Steve, you're a mechanic, for Christ's sakes. He's like, can't you help me? He's like, oh, I don't know what a car is. Sorry.
Right, like, what the hell, man?
Man, that sucks.
What is the it's a negative $2 bill. This is useless.
It's less than useless, my boy.
No.
Stupid. They also have there's the medieval one and there's what's the other
But that Clue like little murder that sounds really fun. Only if I'm the murderer.
I think you draw like cards, like random shit, I think.
Yeah, like Mafia. Right?
I think it would be cool, but again it's like there's always like the grass is always greener. It's like I could always host like my private one with just my friends, but it would so much work.
Yeah, wouldn't you need like to cultivate like a story too?
Yeah, you would have to like, what happens if this happens?
And then like you have to make a whole like.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons essentially.
Yeah, dude. Oh, have you even seen the Dungeons and Dragons trailer?
No.
They're making a Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine, the chick from Fast and the Furious. You know Vin Diesel's girl.
Megan Fox?
No.
No? Sorry, I don't know.
Megan Fox. Do you remember watching It?
Yeah.
The red hair chick?
Oh!
She's in it.
Okay.
She's gonna be like the
Princess Peach?
No. No, she's actually cool. She's the shapeshifter one. What is that class? Where you're able to like to shape isn't that mage? That's not like a subtype of mage or like druid.
Druid. I think it is.
Druid. Yeah. She's a druid.
Cool.
Chris Pine plays the lute.
The lute.
Yeah.
He's a bard.
Bard. But that I know is probably gonna be bad, but I couldn't tell you how giddy I was for it, because it just reminded me of when I used to play with my friends, and I was like, oh my god. Like
I think it would be interesting to have like a real life one, but it's still like, again, it's so much to set up, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So like, yeah, what would a normal quest thing be like if you were to do a real life version, do you think?
You have to literally come up with a story. Here's all the people in it. You have to come up with like a story, pretty much a whole world around it, right?
Yeah, so you would have to like go into like the wilderness at some place, and in like with like maybe a cave, a forest, or whatever, and it says like find the key, and the person hit a key.
Oh, even that
with,
too.
like
obviously you have to, and then like the budget. You have to have like a budget around it. You know, that seems like a lot of work.
Disney did a version called Quest, and it was like kid contestants. It was based off of like a real show that I remember, like a reality show that was medieval themed, and I thought it was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was with adults. Basically what they did is like it was part of the story that they have like newcomers come into the world, and they're supposedly supposed to save the realm or whatever, and they're supposed to like figure out puzzles together, like a giant like escape room, but you're not escaping a room, you're just figuring out things to get things, right? Yeah. And they have people in like these like giant like VFX prosthetic stuff. So there's like monsters and stuff, like trolls. There's big people in suits and stuff, and I was like, this is so cool. And they ride horses, like real horses.
That's so cool. Just like make your own live action, like Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. And I was like, this is amazing. I saw the Disney one.
Wait, that's pretty recent, right?
The recent Disney one?
Yeah.
It wasn't as good. The one with kids is the one that's more recent.
Yeah, because I remember seeing a trailer on that.
It wasn't as good because they're children and they go easy on them, and also there's no money involved, so it's not a reality TV thing.
I'd love for one day that I would be able to like animate my D&D sesh, or just make it into like just any form of media, like either like a YouTube video or just something, just because those like couple of weeks, I think it was. Those couple of weeks of playing that game, and just I felt so like involved. You know?
What did you do? Like who was the leader? What were you playing? And like what was the story?
Okay,
explain to me what it was.
Dungeon Master was Adelaide. She was the daughter of the vice principal. She's like the coolest person I ever, like one of the coolest people I ever met. She's super chill. You know, she like talks to and relates to pretty much everyone. She's like
she commented on one of my posts once.
Yeah, she's just such a genuinely nice person. And then Adelaide, or Hallie, I'm trying to say Hallie, she's I haven't really talked to her that much outside of like track, and because that's how we really kind of like got to know each other.
That makes sense, yeah.
Through track and Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't even know she was nerdy like that. And even like when because she only just got into track that year, so and I've been in track all 4 years, so I didn't really even know her. The only time I talked to her prior was when I showed her when I broke my arm, and I always thought she kind of like hated me because she has I'm gonna be honest, she has a really bad resting bitch face.
That happens.
But then when Adelaide brought up like Dungeons and Dragons, I was like, I perked up. I was like, Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh, let me get on this. And then Hallie started reading her book about like all like just the lore and stuff, and I was like, oh, she's also into that. And I'm sure. She gave us her little character sheets and all that, and basically the story that she miraculously cultivated. She's such a genius.
Cool.
She's so cool. I miss them so much.
Well, now I'm eager. Like, tell me the story already.
All right.
Fuck.
So it's been a minute, so I might butcher it.
It's fine. I just need basics.
So I remember that there is a kingdom, nice little flourishing little kingdom, with a dead prince, and like a kind of like, you know, family that's like kind of like not mourning, but they're like almost like over that. There were like two princes. One of them was killed, and then one of them was presumed dead. So it was me and Hallie trying to figure out, like, we were just like going out. We find each other, then we like go out our little adventure, and then we arrive to said kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that the older prince, I believe, or was it was either the older prince or the younger prince, killed the other prince because he's trying to resurrect this giant eldritch like god that lives under the city.
Oh.
And he's like so huge that there's this giant mountain that's his finger.
Okay.
That whenever you get
okay, I get it. It's cool.
Yeah, whenever you get close to it, you get hallucinations.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's epic.
Mm-hmm.
Henry would come up with stuff too. I'll get to it in a minute because I played it as well.
Yeah, so my character, his name was Deeg.
Deeg.
Yeah, I was a dragonborn berserker.
Of course you were a dragonborn.
Yeah, I like dragons. Okay,
Whatever. He's a scaly.
No.
Continue.
And my whole gimmick was that I had all of the weapons on my person.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every weapon you can think of.
A weapons expert?
No, I was like kind of like a blacksmith in my previous life so I know what it's about. And that was just my whole gimmick. I just had all the weapons, and I didn't really get into it when I was with them, but the backstory is the reason why I was a berserker was one time I saw my dad was cheating on my mom, and I beat the crap out of him, or he killed her. I think it was the first one.
Okay.
And I got so mad that I beat the crap out of my dad to the point where I think my mother like killed herself or like left.
Cool.
So
cool.
And Hallie's character was like this druid with a magic sack with
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Paul, yeah. Funny jokes. Or no, it was a magic backpack, and it was like this
cute.
And how I imagined it was she was just like this little person, like compared to like my 6-foot self, with a giant backpack, just compensating. So she's just lugging that around with her little like robe and stuff. And she had like a little witch's staff and whatever, or the druid staff and whatever. And yeah, it was just really us two. And then sometimes, like in some sessions, it was like we had our coach. Like there were 3 other people that wanted to play too. It was my friend Dom, our coach, and then our friend Audrey, who's also on the team.
Cool.
But they only were there for like one session.
Oh.
Like each of them were only there for like at least one session, and then we had to kill them off because like
it's weird to work people in because in Julian's campaign stuff that they do all the time, sometimes people can't make it, so they have to think of a way to like but they're not here now. Well, so we're progressing.
So it's really just Audrey was supposed to be a dwarf, but her whole gimmick was that she was the tallest dwarf of them all. And like a 6-foot dwarf. So she wasn't a dwarf, she was a dwarf, but wasn't a dwarf.
Okay. Dwarf with gigantism.
Yes. Our coach, Eli, his thing was that he was a goblin. His name was Sneaky Sneaks.
I like Sneaky Sneaks already.
Yeah.
I like him already.
And
gobbledygoo.
Yeah. And he just steals shit. That's all
great.
he did.
That's great.
And Dom, he was like this like demon. I don't remember the name. He was like this like halfling demon kind of person with like magic.
Tiefling maybe.
That I think it was that.
I was a tiefling.
I think it was that. And he had like these magic powers, and his whole thing was that he had this like really long running name that.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. And you know his, and he just like he's like I want to be like an overpowered like demon person. He was like, well, I was like, well, you can't be like overpowered.
Yeah, listen.
You got levels.
Calm the fuck down.
We have levels. There's levels literally to this shit. So, but it just those days. So we like, oh my god. First we go through like this cave with it was first Audrey that like first did our D&D session. It was Audrey. We go through this cave and we're like trying to go like it was like a very like maze like confusing cave.
Oh, okay.
To the point where like we all got like delusional and like
and they're telling you what you're seeing. He's like, you see this.
Yeah. And then how Audrey died is that she got lost in the cave for being high.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then Dom comes, and then we fight like this giant like worm like creature.
A worm.
And I think how they killed him off was, I think he either like parted ways, or I don't know, he was a tiefling that was a prince.
Oh.
That used to be a prince that became an assassin. I think it was that.
Of course. That's like such a... Okay, anyway.
Yeah, definitely him.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the city, we find Sneaky Sneaks.
Yeah.
Yes. And how we get in is we beat up the 2 guards in front, and we steal their armor.
Jesus.
And and then Adelaide was talking about... And then there was also... Yeah, there was a guy in front of us, and there was like a line. There's a guy in front of us, and he was selling cabbages. Like Avatar.
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
yeah.
Familiar.
So my dumbass was like, I kind of want to beat up his beat up his little thing.
You gotta roll for it.
I do. So I destroyed one of his wheels.
Oh, man.
And he
must have
goes,
gotten a low roll.
Yeah, and tried to as a way to like distract the guards, and he's like, "Oh no, my cabbages!"
Oh no.
And we try to get past, but we don't. So we beat up the guards. And I get stabbed in the gut.
Ow.
And Sneaky Sneaks steals their armor. And then how he gets killed off is that they found him and they threw him in jail.
No. Gobbledygoo.
Yeah.
No.
And it was supposed to be a festival for one of like the gods. I don't remember which one exactly, but it was like one of the good ones, like the god of like not fertility, but for like
crops, right?
Crops.
Yeah.
I think it was that one. So we go around, ask like what the business was, like why everyone's celebrating and whatnot. Like, oh, we're having a little, contest or like a little celebration.
Yeah.
And then we get to one of the games. They had like little festival games, and one of them was we had to catch a chicken, and I was like, I am catching this chicken.
Jesus.
I roll a nat 20, which means if you roll a natural 20 on a 20-sided die, it means you win.
You're successful.
You're successful. Hell. Like you win. Like
you win.
that.
That's it. You
part
win.
of the whatever you're doing.
Whatever you were rolling for, you did it successfully, beautifully, amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone's impressed.
I caught the chicken, named her Phoebe.
Oh.
Now I want a chicken named Phoebe.
Yes.
So yeah, then we go to the castle, try to figure, because then we're like, first we go to, I think like a potion seller to heal me, because I was still stabbed in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, and then the potion seller was talking about like, I think the Eldritch God, and we're like, So then we go to the castle, turns out we can't get in, so we're like, let's just sneak out the back.
Okay.
Let's just sneak into the back. We go into the back, and we find like a bunch of guards in like a little loft area, and they're like, hey, what are you doing here? So we spent at least like a whole sesh trying to not kill the guards, but incapacitate them.
It can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it was really,
specific.
really, really difficult. Turns out they were I think it was like a wine room.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 doors. One of them was to like a closet, another was to a downstairs area. Then we find the Royal Guard's treasury room.
Okay.
Jeez, I've been talking about this for like
It's fine. We can keep it going, because like a lot of people always say like that's short for a podcast, just the 30 minutes. So you can talk as long as you want. Go ahead.
We find the treasury room for the royal family. We found like all the catacombs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we find like all the dead bodies in there, and then we also find their treasury room.
Uh-huh.
I, of course,
take things.
Yes, they had a giant family heirloom greatsword. I was like, yes, I'm taking. But then Adelaide was like, well, then you have to replace it with your greatsword. I was like, no, that's the one I made with my father, even though he was a dick. Me and him worked on that.
It's kind of
together. That was my first creation. How could you do this to me? She's like, you gotta choose, and I was like.
It's because, you don't have room for it.
Right. I was like, well, okay, it's better than my one, so I take it. And then we find a giant portrait, and it turns out it was like an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
We go through the portrait, and then we find like this tomb where we find like all these like ritual circles, and we're like, hold up, wait a minute. some ain't right. We find one of the brothers. Turns out he was a necromancer trying to revive the Eldritch God. And we're like, all right, we got to kick your ass. So it was pretty much me doing all the heavy lifting, and Hallie was kind of just there, like...
Well, yeah, no wonder, like, it's so engraved in your brain.
Yeah.
The story was basically centered around you.
Well, I really don't want to make it sound like it was me, but I'm pretty sure I did most of the damage.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because,
I'm a berserker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all I remember is that we kill him, and then he revives himself as a zombie with his brother. So what I do, I roll a nat 20 again. So what I said was, I kick one of them in the balls so hard that it goes inside their intestines, and all you just see is a cavity of my kick.
Jeez.
The other one, I take their family heirloom greatsword, slice them in half, and then boom, we save the day. Tell the king and queen.
And that's the end of your campaign?
Hold on.
Okay.
They take the greatsword back because it's theirs, and I was like, "You sons of bitches!"
And now I have to walk all the way back and get the father's sword.
Yeah, I get it back.
It's walk of shame.
And then me and Hallie's character, we parted ways, and that was it.
Damn.
That was like one of the most. Oh yeah, and then when we were first entering the tomb, with like the ritual circles, because we couldn't see anything. I grabbed Phoebe and send her ass out there. I was like, Phoebe, go check. And Phoebe she comes, goes checks, says everything was cool. So I bet we'll go inside. Cool. And then I think Hallie let off a light, a little fire light.
Flare.
Not a flare, but like a spell that like was a fire spell, but used it as a light.
They have light spells.
Yeah. Anyway, that was like one of the...
Interesting.
It was so cool. And then I was so excited that I got to use Phoebe.
She came in handy.
Yeah, she was like, "Go Phoebe, go!"
I'm just imagining like there's like someone who draws chickens in a particularly cute way that I watch, and I'm imagining that, and it's like, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Dude, that's why I can't wait. Cause I hopefully one day we come
to try it again.
To do it again, you know. I would love to see like that Eldritch God being revived and we fight him. That would be so cool. That
would be cool. Coming back again.
And then maybe like we have like, you know, Dom or like our coach come back again. That would be so cool. And even Audrey.
The goblin.
Yeah, Sneaky Sneak was funny because like obviously our coach wasn't like too like,
of course that makes sense. I can tell
he was really just doing it for us, I think, but he was like trying to make this bit about like, oh, I'm Sneaky Sneaks, I steal things.
Goblin is cool. If you want this goblin to review his gold.
Yeah, he was just playing in the bit that he was like this goblin.
It's great. I love goblins.
And he was so funny. We were just laughing the entire time.
I love goblins.
He's a cool dude. Shout out to Coach Eli. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to my best friend Dom.
Here's my kind of experience. It's not as like lengthy because I'm not able to like do it as much, I guess, so I wasn't able to be as consistent. My character was like Dominic is the tiefling because I thought demons are cool. I'm so cool. It was like sometime when the announcement for like Resident Evil Village was coming out, and I was like, I want my character to be humongous, the size of the lady, 9 feet tall, and then Henry was like, you really want her to be like 9 feet? And it was like, yeah,
why not?
I do. Well, because he has to think around that, right? Where it's like when you enter a place, it has to accommodate for everything.
Well, you could just duck.
I know exactly. I could just duck. And so what they did, I remember, was that they had to introduce the characters. So, like, it starts off with the people that were playing already, which I think was Santiago and Julian. And they're in a bar, and then I'm sitting at the bar already. And so...
Yeah.
It's like intro.
Yeah, I know, like, you can't miss her. She's huge. It's
I know. It's like, look at this big bitch. Yeah, but, like, my backstory, I think, was that it's supposed to be that I came from a really rich... family that was like purebred, I guess. purebred rich family, and I like escaped that life, and I'm kind of like wanting to hide my face, but it's difficult to hide because I'm so huge.
And then you're of royal
Yes.
like, you know,
royal thing, and I have an axe with me, I think, because I was like, I can't be weaponless, I'll just have an axe. But I was trying to think of like a way to like incorporate the axe into like a backstory, like you did with the sword, but I was just like, lol, I just have an axe.
Yeah, I just got it.
I have an axe.
Yeah.
I'm an axe person. And
were you a barbarian, that class?
I don't think so. Let me try to remember what class I was.
I just chose mine as a barbarian, and my little niche was that I was really good at martial arts.
Oh, okay. My thing, I don't think, maybe I was I think I was a barbarian.
Yeah,
I was a barbarian.
There's no shot that you're not. A 9-foot tiefling with an axe.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was like, I'm a barbarian, and I have some form of like, what is it?
And I had like
persuasion.
I had like slight magic capabilities.
Cool.
And I remember, trying to get into. Sorry to.
It's okay.
To cut you off. I remember trying to get into the family vault because I was a black dragonborn. Each color of dragon has a different like fire breath.
Really?
Mine was acid.
Cool.
So I had to acid my way out into
just
the
like the lightsaber
vault
thing, like
yeah,
this.
except with my vomit. And then I remember this
so
stupid
bad.
bit that I was like, after I finished, I was like, hold on, I'm so, it's really, oh god, so gross. Like,
someone like steps and then it's like weak on the floor because you threw up everywhere. It's like,
yeah, my foot is melting. Yeah, sorry, because I wanted to be. I didn't know that different Dragonborns. Yeah, I didn't know that.
No one in our campaign was Dragonborn.
Yeah, different Dragonborns, depending on the color you are, has different like breaths. If you're like a red one, you have like fire breath. I think a blue one is like water. All that.
Yeah.
I didn't know black because I just thought black was a cool color. Mine was acid. Turns out it came useful. So
yeah, it was useful. I think it's useful.
And it was really just like, okay, so it's like us playing, but it's almost like, because Adelaide is like super, like, a lot more knowledgeable than we are. That she was kind of like nudging us, like, hey, you're a black dragon, therefore you have acid breath. And I was like, oh, you're right. Let me use that.
That's kind of, it came in handy with mine too, because Henry said that, like, because you're a tiefling, you can read their language.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I forgot.
It
says the language is written all over this cave.
Oh.
You can translate it.
You're just like sitting there like 2 seconds like, I don't know what we're going to do, guys.
I don't know what we're going to do, guys. It seems like, I think we should just quit it.
And then one of them's like, aren't you a tiefling? Like, oh, yeah, I could read that.
I can read, guys. This is amazing. Oh, and there was like a certain scene where it's like a bartender had knowledge that we wanted. And we didn't want to be violent about it.
Right.
And I'm intimidating, and so they...
Yeah, because you're a giant demon person.
They also implicated, like, racism.
Oh.
And so they're racist towards me.
Right.
Because I'm a tiefling, and also I'm huge.
Yeah.
So I was like... I had to wait outside.
Oh.
I had to wait outside. And then Henry was kind of, like, peer pressuring in a sense of, like, something is going wrong, maybe, inside, because they're taking so long. And so I walked in.
What happened?
And... well, like, nothing was going wrong, but, like, I started a conflict just because I walked in, essentially.
Oh.
And so he closed down...
He really just instigated to start conflict, huh?
Exactly. And so he closed down the whole shop, and then we had to enter through violence. And he had, he had a bartender boy, like an apprentice. And Henry came up with, like, just a funny voice where he's like, hello, master, hello.
Oh, this giant tiefling, I will beat you up with my dagger.
And we were trying to be nice to him because he is a nice person, right?
Yeah.
And so we were like, hey, he's like, do you mind? He's like, just answer this question for us. But he was just too loyal to the bartender.
Oh, my God.
And we wanted him to, like, be, like, befriend, but then in the end, it's like...
We had to kick his butt.
We accidentally killed the bartender.
Oh.
And so he was really upset, and he becomes like a crazed, like, maniac thing. He's like, you killed the bartender. And then he's like coming after us, and we're like, oh no.
We were like, yo.
And then we were finished with that part, and Henry was like, the way to, like, the little, like, the apprentice's heart was through the bartender. So, like, we couldn't be nice to the bartender, and therefore we couldn't befriend him.
Right.
And I was like, damn it.
Yeah, you weren't really trying to stir any. You weren't trying to stir the pot at all. It was really Henry, like, yo, walk inside.
Yo, get inside. Something's going wrong.
Something's going wrong. Walk inside. Like,
oh, fine, I can. And then all of a sudden,
all the tieflings back, fight. Yeah.
And I went to the potion cellar.
A potion cellar.
And we did that bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going into battle. I require your strongest potions. And he was like, my potions are too strong for you, tiefling.
Oh, wow.
And I was like...
How? You're 9 foot tall.
I know. I was like, it's too strong, for let alone you. It's for giants only, or something like that.
I'm a giant tiefling. What?
I was like, but I'm a big tiefling. He's like, it would do horrible things to your mind and body. And I was like...
Like what?
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm losing my patience here. And then he's like, violence is being used against me in my shop. And I was like,
can't do anything without getting into a fight.
No.
That's kind of a funny bit though. Like every little thing.
Every little thing.
She's hurting me.
Remember the Toy Story thing where they think Woody has killed Buzz and then he kicks the toy car off and then he says
so.
And he says, he's at it again.
I think
That's
so.
basically it. He's like, she's at it again. Oh no.
That's a funny bit.
Yeah, and I remember when I came back, I think Santiago had like a love interest character.
Oh.
And they did him so dirty. In the beginning of it, he was knocking on a door of like a friend, like a companion, and then Henry's like, you open the door, it's her with him.
Oh.
And Santiago was like,
he was like, yo, I'm trying to get down.
He was like so upset. He was like, oh.
He's like, bro, like he was about to get down, but like then you walk in and that was the joke.
Yeah, he was just upset. He was just like, oh. And his character, of course, was upset. He was just like, oh.
Yeah, he reflects on the fact.
He just walked away. He was like, I don't even feel like asking.
That's so
anymore.
funny. He's like in the bed with the girl, like and then and you see someone walk in, like,
bro,
damn.
Yeah,
it just walks out.
That's exactly what it was, and it was hilarious.
That's a good bit. So anyway, the moral of this episode is that
watch out for our new series coming out on Netflix. It's gonna be Dungeons and Dragons, but only with us, and we're gonna come up with cool ideas.
I was gonna say, because like everyone's seen Stranger Things, and everyone thinks that D&D is now like this demonic game. It's not. It's just you make a character.
It's just fun. It's nerdy. It's really nerdy, but it is fun.
It's just storytelling.
It is.
You create a character with a nice story behind them, and
the nerdy aspect that I like. Honestly, it's like I'm being hypocritical here. It's, like as an outsider, I can see it's like you're telling the story. You're telling the story as shut up. You're telling the story. You're telling the story as if it really happened to you, and I think that's what people are like.
Feel
you're
like
a nerd, but like it's fun. You get sucked up in the story.
You are your character. Your character is you to an extent.
I did come up with like an idea. Is like I want to be, you know, those bird people.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those, and I want to be
not a harpy, but like more bird than person.
Yeah, it's
right?
like a bird head with bird legs, and I wanted to be that with a bard class and like have instruments, and I don't know what kind of instrument, but that's the next character that I kind of want to accordion.
I say that joke because she just got an accordion.
I'm starting to play the accordion. It's fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll master it soon.
Yeah. So anyway, you got yourself an extra long episode today.
Because we're talking about something we love and ramble.
Yeah, it's fun. Y'all should try it sometime. Play some Dungeons and Dragons with someone, you know, obviously the homies, but also a dungeon master who knows what they're doing.
Knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you for listening. If you stuck this far, make sure to follow us on Instagram at InaneBrains, InaneBNA.
Check out the YouTube channel. Well done.
INS. BNA is an anime. Don't know why I said that. Check out you said YouTube?
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, please. We really appreciate it. I
think I told you guys what to comment already. It's been too long.
I generally do. What'd you say?
Worm on a string.
Yeah. Hey.
Comment worm on a string.
Make sure you comment worm on a string. Jenna, you got any final words?
That didn't make as much noise as I was